What's up, guys? Welcome to a Goodwill video. It's been a long time since I've done a kind of video like this on this channel. We've been mainly focusing on the other channel, as you guys most likely know. But I'm coming to Goodwill anyway, and so this video here is basically going to be a little bit of like behind the scenes of the normal vlog, but also I wanted to see if I could basically film like one entire Goodwill trip, and I'm only going to one store. So my goal is to see how much potential profit we can make from just a single stop at a Goodwill. This is not the outlet, it's a standard Goodwill, standard thrift store. And so I'm gonna try to see exactly how much profit we can make in one single stop. And I'm going to try to film as much as I possibly can to kind of show you guys exactly what it's like, because in a lot of these types of videos, you only see when people find stuff, and that is not how it normally is. You don't always find something good when you go to a thrift store. So you're going to see me pick up a lot of items. I'm going to be looking up a bunch of stuff, and I will probably pass on most of it, but I want to be very, very thorough. Try to find as much as I can, maybe spend a little bit more time in the store than I normally would. Usually I can be in and out of a Goodwill in 15-20 minutes if I'm you know, trying to be quick about it. But I want to make a good video for you guys, and hopefully we both learn a few things. I'm always learning about new stuff to look out for and new items that I can buy to sell on eBay and Amazon, so my goal is to share that information with you guys as well. So let's head inside and see what we can find. All right, this is it. We're gonna go inside, see how much we can find in one stop. So we're starting at the movies here, and we have CDs right behind me. We're gonna be looking at those as well. I'm looking for, you know, pretty much anything that's worth grabbing, but usually look out for horror stuff. And then, you know, some like certain TV shows and stuff like that. I don't know, obviously, every movie to grab, but there are a lot that are worth money. This one I'm gonna look up. That's a factory sealed one. We'll look that up here in a second. That one could be good, but we'll have to check. Got a couple games in here, but nothing special. It's a good movie. So I grabbed this stack. We're gonna look them all up. So nothing in the movies, unfortunately, and I probably missed some. If you saw any like expensive DVDs when I was panning through, let me know in the comments down below. Now we're gonna look at CDs. So for CDs, what I do is I pull out anything like this that's factory sealed, because we're mostly selling CDs on Amazon. So I'm gonna scan all of the new ones. Well, most of them. Some of them, it's kind of easy to tell which ones are not gonna be worth it. A lot of like local artist kind of stuff. Stuff that looks very low budget, usually is not too expensive. So I'm gonna go through and do that to the rest of them, and then we'll look them all up. So everything sticking out are the ones that we are going to scan on Amazon, and hopefully find a couple good ones. So I found a bunch of CDs. So I'll calculate all this stuff at the end, tell you guys what the profit is and everything, but as you guys saw, I passed on a lot of CDs that were expensive, and it's because the ranks were too high or they had cracks on the cases. I try to pass on them if they're beat up, because they're not really new if they're all cracked. And as I was walking away from the CDs, somebody walked out of the store with an entire cart full of stuff and ran away. So that was interesting. I didn't really see too much of the electronics, unfortunately. There was that one Sony TV remote, but in my experience, the TV remotes are not really worth too much. It's got to be like a super new TV or something. So that's all right. We have all the toys to look through. This is like, I guess, the girl section on this side. Not sure why they have to separate them all. But looks like there's a couple Barbies, some older ones. There's a Marine Corps Ken special edition. Is there a year? 1991. I'm 1 year older than that Barbie. And there's this one. So I'll look these up real quick. Probably not going to be worth grabbing, but it's worth looking them up at least. So Marine Corps Ken here can sell for up to 30 bucks. Problem? It's $19.99. I feel like I've seen one of these before, so I might have looked it up in the past, but I can't remember if it was worth anything, so gotta look it up again. It's just one piece to a board game. Unfortunately, not worth grabbing. I looked up a bunch of toys, a bunch of board games, and unfortunately didn't find anything in the toy aisle. So I have one last major section to check, and that is the office products and supplies aisle. All right, guys, so I'm filming in the car because it's kind of raining, and it is getting dark as well. So I went to the office products aisle, couldn't film anything, unfortunately, because there was an entire family of people in the aisle there, but I didn't find anything. So I only ended up buying CDs today, which That doesn't usually happen, but I actually found more CDs than I normally would. So the extra CDs kind of makes up for the stuff that I didn't find otherwise. So I'm gonna go through here because I don't know if you guys could really tell which ones I was keeping when I was looking them up, and I'm probably not going to include all the footage of looking them up because it took like 10 minutes. But I grabbed a bunch of CDs, and then one of the CDs I got multiple copies of, which is pretty cool. Some of the stuff was also half off because today was like the green tag day. So I spent, where's my receipt? I spent a total of $38.88. $3.02 of that was sales tax. So this CD I got 4 copies of, and it is Ben Platt Reverie. I actually had a 5th copy of it, but I put it back because it had a pretty big crack on the front. So these ones all looked good. I put back 2 CDs because they had cracks. I looked at them right when I got to the register. So I'm going to calculate all of the price or the value of these after fees and shipping on Amazon, and then I'll put the total at the end of the video here. But I also found a bunch of classical music that seems like it all came from the same set. Well, I got 3 of them. They all say an introduction to the classics across the top there, but we have the story of Mendelssohn, the story of Schubert, and the story of Beethoven. And then all of these CDs, for some reason, probably because they were sealed, were marked as $2.99, which is kind of expensive for CDs at Goodwill. Here's another classical one, but it wasn't part of that same series, the Handel one. But they were $3 each. So if I'm gonna pay $3 for a CD, basically the criteria that I'm looking for in order to make it worth my time to sell them on Amazon is they have to sell for at least $12, because that will net about $6 after fees and shipping. So at the very minimum, I'm looking to double my money on CDs. In addition to the price point, they also, of course, like I said, have to have no cracks, no rips in the seal, anything like that. A little scuffing or like a tiny hole in the corner is perfectly fine. You know, for CDs like this, if I was selling like, you know, some first pressing of an original Metallica album or something that was sealed, that might be something that I would look at condition more carefully. But on like a $12 CD on Amazon that was released last year, you know, if there's a tiny hole in the corner, it doesn't really matter that much. The majority of people that are buying these CDs are probably opening them, which is fine. So a little bit of damage is fine, but anything excessive I try to avoid. And then the biggest thing is the rank. So every item on Amazon has a rank, and basically the closer to number 1, the better. So each category has a different number of total items, so you have to kind of learn which rank is good for which category, because they're all different. Books, for example, there are tens of millions of different books, and on top of that, each different pressing or release sometimes can have a different listing on Amazon. So there's probably 100 million book listings on Amazon. So going up to about 8 million in books is something that I'm comfortable with. Obviously, something ranked 8 million is going to take a while to sell, but I have sold books with a rank, you know, that high. So usually with music, with CDs, I try to stick to about 300,000 or less. And if it's going to be in the 300,000 range, it has to be pretty good profit. It can't be just a doubling my money kind of situation. So these are the rest of the ones that I grabbed here, and you guys saw me look them up. This is like a soundtrack. Soundtracks that are factory sealed are usually worth grabbing, so definitely look out for those. Another kind of genre to look out for would be sealed, like those CDs that you would get off of like the TV infomercials. So like Now That's What I Call Music or Kids Bop or whatever, any of those that are factory sealed can be worth a decent amount, especially like the earlier Now That's What I Call Music's, like #1 sealed is probably really expensive. But you know, be on the lookout for those. And then also like lullaby stuff, like music that's supposed to help children sleep. Those ones I find a lot of, they tend to be worth some money. So off camera, I'm gonna add up the totals of those and then let you guys know what the total potential profit is on this haul from this one stop.
A few moments later.
So I have one CD that I made a mistake in buying for two reasons. It's this one here. This is one that did not have a standard UPC code. They have one of these, which you'll see these a lot, but you can scan the cover of the CD to look it up that way, which is what I did. And I thought that it was worth getting, and I don't know if it pulled up a separate listing or what, but I just looked it up again and it was not worth it. But then I also noticed, you might not be able to tell, the bottom right here, there's a big rip. I don't know if you guys can see that. That whole bottom corner is ripped open there. So for two reasons, that one was a waste of $3, unfortunately. But I added up the rest, and after fees and shipping, I should get $137.07. And that is on my like $38 purchase or whatever it was. So that is pretty good. Most of them, I would say the average profit per CD here was about tripling my money. So turning 3 into 9 or 10. So that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Obviously, the stop could have been much better, but I can't really complain about, you know, like $100 profit basically. So one thing that I also wanted to mention about buying factory sealed CDs for Amazon, if you're allowed to sell them, I've had my account for a while and I've sold hundreds of CDs, so I've kind of been grandfathered into selling CDs on there, but I know that for a lot of newer accounts, it's a restricted category, so I'm lucky. But if you can sell them, they're one of the best things to sell because they sell quickly, they're easy. You know, I got to remove the Goodwill price tags, but other than that, there's nothing else I have to do with them. I put them in little poly bag poly bag things so that I'm not putting my Amazon label directly on the CD just in case they don't want to open it. They don't want that sticker on there. And then they're cheap to ship. I sell these on Amazon FBA, so I send them into the Amazon warehouse, and then when they sell, Amazon workers pull, pack, and ship them, deal with customer service, returns, all that kind of stuff, and I just get to collect the money at that point. So CDs are one of my favorite things to sell on Amazon. Usually don't have to worry about any sort of like intellectual property rights or anything like that, any copyright claims, so I'm super happy with that. And that's pretty much what, I wouldn't call this a standard Goodwill stop because like I said, usually we'll find other stuff and not this many CDs, but there's just one random stop at a Goodwill, and that is the haul that I got. I was probably in there for 35 minutes or so, and like I said, I was going a little bit slower than I normally would, but I was trying to be thorough and find as much as I could. Unfortunately, we only ended up with CDs, but that's okay. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.